So hello students, welcome to Learn with RP Sir and Big J. My name is Rahul, and in this video I am going to talk about a new chapter that is known as polynomials. So let us start with this new chapter. So first of all, let us talk about what are polynomials. So the word polynomials comes from these two words. One is poly and the other one is nomials. Poly means many. Nomial means terms. So polynomials are those algebraic equations or expressions which consist of many terms. Now by many, it doesn't mean many means more than one or something. It means one to more than one. Any number of terms can be called as polynomial. However, there are categories. Okay, there are categories. For one number of terms, we don't call it a polynomial. We call it something else. For more than one terms, we actually call it a polynomial. Poly normally means more than one. Okay. So now let us talk about the divisions of polynomial. Now in divisions of polynomial, there are two ways of categorizing the polynomials. One way is the number of terms, the other way is degree. We have already talked about degree on the previous video where we had talked about solving linear equations. If you haven't seen the video, please go and watch the video. The link should be in my description or in the card above on the top. So anywhere you can find this particular video, please go and watch the video. There I have already demonstrated about degree. Okay, so let us start with the polynomial classifications first of all. So polynomials can be classified into two parts. First, based on the number of terms, and the other is based on degree. For the number of terms, there are again three classifications. First one is known as monomial, then binomial, then trinomial. For degree, we had already discussed in the last class. First one is linear, second one is quadratic, and then cubic. So let us come to monomial. What are monomials? Monomials are those polynomials which consist of only one term. Binomial are those polynomials which consist of two terms. Trinomial are those polynomials which consist of three terms. Okay. On the other hand, linear is a polynomial which consists of degree 1. Quadratic are polynomials which consist of degree 2. And cubic is a polynomial which consists of degree 3. Now let us talk about one by one. Let us talk about the number of terms. Before that, let us talk about what exactly is the word term. What is the meaning of that? So to know what is term, we have to talk about the polynomial first of all. So please take it down. Now we are going to talk about the polynomial. What exactly is a polynomial? What is the standard structure, a standard expression or equation of a polynomial? We are going to talk about that. So let us start. So for polynomial is generally an algebraic expression which can be given in term of this. Let us say p of x equals to a n x to the power n plus a n minus 1 x to the power n minus 1 plus a n minus 2 x to the power n minus 2 plus dot dot dot, and this will continue till a to x square plus a1x plus a0. So this is the official structure of a polynomial. This is how the equation is given. Now, what are these things? See, each and everything like these things are known as terms. These are known as terms. All of these are terms. Right? Now, so what is term? Terms are variables attached with their coefficients separated by addition or subtraction. So terms are variables attached with their coefficients separated by addition or subtraction. Now, what exactly are variables? As you know that x is a variable. Similarly, this x is also a variable, this x is also a variable, this is also a variable, this is also a variable. All of them are variable. Whenever there is a term where there is no variable, that term is known as a constant term. This is also a term. Though there is no variable, but this is also a term. This is known as constant term. And apart from it, you can see all the other terms are containing a variable. Okay? So, whenever there is a variable and there is some other term attached with the variable, this is known as coefficient of that particular variable. So here an is the coefficient of xn, an minus 1 is the coefficient of xn minus 1, an minus 2 is the coefficient of xn minus 2, and likewise we will follow. So I hope the terms, variable, coefficient, everything is clear to you. Let us take an example of a polynomial in this format. So I can say, for example, fx equals to x squared plus 2x plus 3. Now this can be a polynomial. How? This is the variable of the first term, this is second, this is third. So x is square is the variable of the first term. X is the variable, basically it is squared up. Now if you talk about the coefficient of the first term, there is nothing, that means there is 1. X square means 1 into x square. Now let us say this is the variable of the second term, its coefficient is 2, and this is the constant term because there is no variable. Remember, constant and coefficient terms will be numbers, numericals, constant things, okay? So they will be numbers, they will not be variables. So that is how a polynomial is. Now this kind of polynomial is known as one variable polynomial. But that doesn't mean that there is only one variable polynomial. It can be 2 variable, 3 variable, 4 variable. For example, if I give you something like this, f of xy equals to x square plus xy plus y square. Now this is a double variable polynomial where there are 2 variables, one is x, one is y. Okay, so it can be of different types. Okay, it can be one variable polynomial, it can be 2 variable polynomial. So I hope you have understood the number of terms. So based on number of terms, we can categorize the polynomial into 3 categories basically. It doesn't mean that there is only 3 categories. It's just that 3 basic categories are there. So what are the 3 categories? The first category is known as monomial. Monomial has only one term. So what can be the example? It can be, let's say, x square or xy or 2x, etc. Now, as you can see, what is meant by term? Term is whenever there is a combination of variable and numerical, and they are separated by an addition or subtraction. As you can see, there is no addition and subtraction. They are not separated by addition and subtraction. They are individual terms. So that is why there is only one term. Okay. Let us talk about binomial. So binomial means what? Two terms. So let us take an example. X squared plus y squared, for example, or 2x plus y, or x plus 2, etc. As you can see, there is a plus sign which is separating two terms. So we can calculate there are two terms, one term, two term, one term, two term, one term, two term. So these are binomials. Third is trinomial. Trinomial means three terms. We can take an example. It can be, let's say, x plus y plus z, x plus y plus 1, x square plus y square plus z square, etc. As you can see, there are two plus, or you can take even minus also. If you are wondering that why can't minus be there, I can say x minus y plus 1, that is also there. That is also three terms. Okay. There should be a plus or a minus separating them. That is for terms. So as you can see, three terms, one term, two term, three term, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, all are three terms, and like this we can talk about this trinomial. So I hope all of them are clear to you. So that is for the number of terms. The other one is degree. Degree I've already told you in the last lecture. If you haven't gone through that, I'll again recommend you, please go through it. You will get the link in the description, and please go through that so that you can get the idea how the things are going on with the help of degree. Okay. So now let us do some questions to understand how this is done. Okay. So before we start with the questions, I would like to introduce some algebraic formulas which are extremely important for solving polynomials. So many of the formulas you might already know, you might have done applications with these formulas. So just get a look of all the formulas, get an idea that these are the formulas, and we will do questions based on that formulas. Okay. So let us start with the first one. So the first formula is a plus b whole square. It is a square plus 2ab plus b square. Second one, a minus b whole square. A square minus 2ab plus b square. Third one, a square minus b square. A plus b times a minus b. Fourth one, a plus b whole square plus a minus b whole square. That will be 2 times a square plus b square. Then a plus b whole square minus a minus b whole square, that is 4 times ab. Right? Let us throw some other formulas. A plus b whole cube. A cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square plus b cube. Is that coming full? Oh yeah. So next, a minus b whole cube, a cube minus 3a square b plus 3ab square plus b cube. Then a cube plus b cube. Now see, this a cube plus b cube thing has got two formulas, okay? And these two formulas are applicable to two different circumstances. Based on the total question, when you see the question, you have to understand which formula I need to put, which formula I need not to put, okay? So, one formula is a plus b whole cube minus 3ab, a plus b. And the other formula is a plus b times of a square minus ab plus b square. Now for the a cube minus b cube, there is again two formulas. a minus b whole cube plus 3ab a minus b, and the other formula is a minus b a square plus ab plus b square. Okay, so please take a look at this formula. It's extremely important for solving polynomials. I hope you have taken them. If you haven't, please pause the video and take it. And now we are going to talk about the questions. So let us see how these formulas are helping us in solving the questions. So let us take a question. If x plus y whole square minus x minus y whole square equals 28, find xy. Please take the question. Now see, if you have the formulas with you, it's very easy. Take a look at this pattern. X plus y whole square minus x minus y whole square. Don't you think this is exactly the same as a plus b whole square minus a minus b whole square? Just replace the x with a, y with b, again x with a, y with b. So you get the same formula. And what is the result of this formula? Just look at the note that I have just given. The result of the formula is 4ab. So if I replace a with x, b with y, so the result of this formula should be 4xy, isn't it? So now just replace that with 4xy. It's a one-liner. 4xy gives us 28. Now they are asking to find xy. So xy is 28 over 4, which is 7. If you don't know how to solve it, it will cost a lot of time. You have to go through each and everything. And remember, this kind of approaches is not meant for school curriculum, okay? I'll tell you one thing very clearly. All these questions that I am doing here, all of these questions are meant for competitive examinations and those cases where your method of writing is not important, your answering is more important. So if you are trying these approaches in school, they might deduct your marks. So please be careful, don't try these approaches in school. For school, you have to find out the full form of this one, expand this, expand that, subtract both of them, get the result as 4xy, then you have to equate it with 28 and finally get xy equals to 7. But here you can just apply the formula and get the result. So let us talk about the next question. Let us see what do we have in store for the next question. Okay. The next question would be, if h equals to y over x minus y, find h plus 1. So again, in this case, what are you going to do? Please write the question and try to solve yourself. Once you think that you have solved, you have attempted, then try to see what is the difference between your answer and my answer. If there is no difference, that means you are absolutely correct. If there is a difference, try to point out your mistake and try to recover them. But if you don't attempt, it is not going to help you in any ways. So please don't just look at my video and copy all the solutions. Try to solve yourself, okay? Alright, so how to solve it? So h plus 1, see, I'll directly do it. H plus 1, when you are adding plus 1, That means on the result, that is on the RHS, you also need to add plus 1. Right? It is just that the equation, for example, if we have A equals B, you are adding C to that, you have to add C to that. If you are subtracting C, you have to subtract C. If you are multiplying C, you have to multiply C. If you are dividing C, you have to divide C. Whatever you are doing, if you are square rooting, you have to square root. Whatever you are doing, you have to repeat on the other side. Right? So, having said that, now how are we going to approach it? So h plus 1, we already have what we need. And on this side, what are we going to do now? See, y over x minus y plus 1 can be written as 1 over 1. So what will be the LCM? X minus y will be the LCM. Now what is the rule? This divided by this, the result multiplied with the numerator. So x minus y by x minus y will be 1, multiplied by y will be y, plus x minus y by 1 should be x minus y, multiplied by 1 should be x minus y. So when you expand it, y plus x minus y gets cancelled over x minus y. So finally the result that comes, I'll take it from here, the result comes is x over x minus y. I hope this is clear. X over x minus y is the answer to this particular question, h plus 1. Okay, so if you have taken this one, let us do another problem. So let us solve an equation. Two x minus 9 over 7 plus 2x over 3 equals 8x minus 1 over 21. Now we have to solve for x. We have to find what is the value of x over here. So, how to do it? So whenever you see that there is an equation where variables are lying on both ends, always in an equation do both of them simultaneously. Ultimately you will get something for x. So let us do the left hand side. What is the LCM? 7 and 3 should be 21. 21 divided by 7 should be 3. 3 multiplied by this one. So it will be 3 times of 2x minus 9 plus 21 divided by 3. That should be 7. 7 multiplied by 2x. So it should be 14x. On the other side, 8x minus 1 over 21. Now let me tell you a very interesting thing. You can see the denominator is 21, right? The denominator 21 is on both the sides. Whenever there is nothing attached to it, no plus, no minus, something like that, in both the denominators, you can simply cut it. Okay? For those who don't know, please try to understand. If there is nothing, for example, if there is plus 2 or plus 3, even if there is plus 2 on both ends, still you can cut it. But if there is something else, for example, if there is plus 3, now you can't because they will be different numbers. Or if there is plus x or plus y, you can't cut because they will be different numbers. So you can only cut if there is the same number or added, subtracted by the same thing, or for example, if there was 7 which is divisible by 21, you can cut them. Okay? Please try to understand the rules of cutting. Now, so it's pretty much obvious then we can do that this part and this part will be equal with no denominators attached. So if you do it, so it will be 3 times 2, 6x minus 3 times 9, 27 plus 14x, and that would be 8x minus 1. Now 14x plus 6x gives you 20x minus 27 and equals to 8x minus 1. So 8x will drop down here, 27 will go there. So 20x minus 8x will be equals to 27 minus 1, which means 12x will be equals to 26. So x will be equals to 26 by 12. If you cut it with 2, it will be 13, it will be 6. So your final answer would be 13 over 6. This is your final answer, 13 over 6. For those students who have tried, who have got the same answer, congratulations. For those who haven't, try to understand where is the mistake. Okay? Try to understand. So this is another question. So I hope these questions which I have done is clear to you guys. So I'll drop the video over here. We are not going to do any more questions in this particular video. What I'm going to do is I'll give you a question. You try to solve as a homework. So let me give you a good question. Okay. Let me give you this question. So the homework question is 5 by 8 equal to negative 11 minus 7y over 4y plus 1 by 2y minus 1 by 8. Okay, you have to solve for y. What will be the value of y? This is your homework question. Okay, what would be the value of y? This is your homework question. Okay, so please pick it up. Is it visible? Yeah, it is. So please pick the question and try to solve it, and do tell me what are your answers for that, so that I can reward you with the right answer. Okay, please comment it. So that's it for today's video. If you have liked the video, please don't forget to like, share, and please subscribe my channel. So until then, take care, and I'll see you for the next class in a new chapter. Take care. Bye.